Okay, I'm going to show you some more tools in Photoshop, and I'm using the images that you can download on Laulima in our resources. It says tools. So this first one is called Texture Clone, and we're going to use a tool called the Clone Stamp, found over here on the left side. If you hold this down, it's also buried with the Pattern Stamp tool, Clone Stamp. Okay, so what I'm going to do is go ahead and make a background copy just so you can see the difference I made easily. So Command J. And you'll see over here there is a digital watermark on this image. Now, I don't condone actually using this to cover up people's digital watermark for this class. I'm just showing you a way to get rid of distractions in an image using one of these tools. But please use your own images. Okay. So basically the Clone Stamp works similar to the healing tool in that it copies and pastes from one area of the picture to another. The difference is this tool does not blend afterwards. So again, in your tool presets up top, I recommend having a slightly soft brush, so anywhere from about 80 to 100%. And down here, I'm going to go ahead and zoom in on the area I want to cover up. And I'm going to use my brackets to make the brush a little bit smaller. Now you'll see if I hold Option, it makes the same target it does with the healing tool, and I can click there and that's where it's going to copy from. Now the cool thing with newer versions of Photoshop is it actually will show you before you start placing it what it's going to look like. And you can see that same little target, the crosshairs right above, and I'm dragging it left, and so it's dragging with me and just kind of covering that texture. Now I'd probably have to redefine another space, so if I hold Option here, click, I can cover that up. Do it again here, Option, click, Option, click. So it might take a little time, but I could eventually cover all of that up. You can see the difference that I made already. Okay. The second image I want to show you is using photographic tools found down here, almost 2/3 down in your toolbar. It's called the Dodge tool, the Burn tool, and the Sponge tool. And these are based on traditional photo techniques. The Dodge tool lightens the image, and you'll see in your tool presets you can choose an area you want to lighten. So shadows are the dark areas, midtones are the middle in value, and the highlights are the lightest. Okay, the exposure is just basically saying how strong this effect will be. So I'll leave this in the midtones. What the heck, let's go in the shadows. Okay, and I can make my brush bigger or smaller, and I can try to lighten some of this up. And you'll see if I click in my history before I used it and later, it has lightened the area that I was painting on. Basically, in traditional photography, the Dodge tool is something that photographers would usually make by hand, and they would hold it over an area of the image while the photographic paper was being exposed to light. And by doing that, they wouldn't let the photographic paper get exposed as long, so it would come out lighter than other areas of the photo. Okay. Here's the Burn tool. That's kind of the opposite. So in traditional terms, the photographers would allow more light on just a section of the image, and so it would darken the area. So this one darkens parts of the image. So let's go to our highlights. Same thing as far as how the presets work up here. And you can see that I'm darkening just the highlights. So again, if I clicked before I did anything, and after, you can see the difference. The last tool in here is the Sponge tool, and this works with how much color is in the image. So if I go to Saturate, and Flow is kind of similar to Exposure, Saturate means I will add more of the color that's there. So if I do that in the center of this flower, you'll see that the center that's kind of yellow is becoming more yellow. And here I'll say before, after. Okay? And vice versa. You could also take out color. So if I desaturate, maybe go up here in this leaf, it's going to take it more towards grayscale. Okay, and I'll show you before and after. Okay, hope that helps you in altering your images.